Right. So, as we have so far discussed some biological topics, today I am also one of the faculty here teaching you the botanical topics. Okay. So, we are discussing regarding biology. So, my name is usually they used to call BG sir, but full name is Basangouda. Okay. So, I am here to discuss the botanical topics. As you have seen, especially in the last few years question papers, NEET already you have appeared because you are on long term, right? So who is anybody here fresher? First attempt ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋರು ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ. Already you are attempted one time, right? But you already seen the question paper where he used to face the difficulties only in the botanical topics. Yes? Which is your favorite topics regarding the biology means you will all say human physiology or any of the human reproductive biology like wherever the mechanisms or processes are there, you will say that is the easy to remember, right? It is actual human tendency because there is some processes, there are some diagrams usually we will remember, but without seeing the organism or without seeing any of the particles or without seeing any of the species, it is highly difficult to remember. Means without seeing your faces, I should remember your names for a longer time means it is highly difficult. If I used to interact with you regularly means easily I will remember your names, right? The same way here we are facing the difficulties only due to the unfamiliarities. When you used to repeat the same things by having the picturizations or maybe some of the diagrams which are given in the NCERT or any of the sources, then you will get easily remembering those names. That's it. So that's what the difference between the botany and zoology we are facing in the examples, remembering facts. So to remember easily, the only thing is you should repeat it more. That's it. Used to call it remembering is the main thing means you should recall it many times. Repeating is many times. Then only we will remember easily. ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಅನದರ್ ವೇ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ you should work hard by writing itself or you should rename your friends by the species names. That's it. Whatever the examples are there, you should relate the characters to your friends and you should remember those names. For example, you will do as in the animal kingdom, no? Usually all biology lectures will give the names of those animals with respect of those phylums. The same way here also you should remember those examples with particular of that. Except the example, is there any other difficulty in the botany? As you can come across the living world as the first chapter in the botany and the next biological classification, here you will come across the various type of species and their groups, right? So from that chapter itself it begins to the remembering of different examples with their cell wall component, with their storage component, like that. So when you feel difficulty and it starts to read, that seems to be difficult and it remains as a difficult only. First thing, you should take that concept out of your mind and start reading without thinking about the concept. You start with a zero. We don't know about a concept. Now I am reading a fresh concept. Like that you sit in the and read means you will remember, that will be very clear. Once you are already prefixed with some misconcepts, I will not remember, it is a very difficult chapter, I have already read in the first chapter, first year, that is what the misconceptions or whatever the difficulties you faced in the earlier, you should remove all those things and you are already facing that difficulties means you should remove that concepts. They are all misconcepts, that's it. You are not practiced well or you are not maintained another way of remembering, that's it. Or else you will easily remember some chapter examples. For example, as I said, in the plant kingdom you will face difficulties to remember some examples but not in the biological classification. Why? You are relating with the character features and you are having some own picturization, that's why you will remember the examples, right? The same way here you have to do for a plant kingdom also or any other further examples what you have to deal in the physiologies also. Especially you will feel difficulties usually in the physiology, that is transport chapter. Except that you will okay. And in the cell, the unit of life, and cell cycle, cell division, biomolecule. Out of these three chapters you will easily enjoy the cell chapters related to cell cycle and cell division also and related to the cell organelles and also. But when it comes to the biomolecules, it is little bit biochemistry concepts. Right? The same concept you will deal in the chemistry also, but you will feel difficulty. Why? You are not picturizing that concept, that's it. You are not relating that concept, that's it. That's why There is nothing is difficult. The way we approach that, it will seems like that. That is our perceptions. Right or no? Clear? So what it is? Is there any other answer? It is a marker. Okay, any other answer?
Blue marker.
Blue marker. Okay, any other thing? Yes? Any other answer? As you are saying, it is a marker, some of you said. Some of you have said it is a blue marker. Some of you said it is a pen. And I will say it is having a ink in it, or it is a white and blue mixed. There are some letters on it. What you will see means what you are focusing, that will you look. The way of approach will be your image you will get. That's it. The same way the approach is important for getting the knowledge. That's it. Clear? So here, especially coming to the this year paper, that is 2021 paper, we will come across 49% of first year and 51% of second year concepts are there. But in the previous we have seen 38% and 62%. That's what varied. Means usually second year questions are more, even though they are saying 50-50, but they are divided as botany and zoology, right? So they are given equal weightages. Botany and zoology means 50-50 weightage, but when you come across like a CET, first year and second year, means the same way here, more weightage given to the second year. But last year, as you faced, that is a reduced syllabus. That's why more weightage is given to the second year, even though it is a zoological topics are more. And in the way of approaching also, you have attempted very easily out of that 90 question, within a half an hour you have attended more than 70 questions, I hope. Even though it may be right or wrong, whatever, but you have approached it, right? That is the completely knowledge based questions or medium way of questions. Only 5 questions which are given the extra questions, what you have faced the part B questions, where they have understanding level questions. That means there is a larger passages or many options where you have to compare whether A and B are right or A, B, C are right or which one is wrong, and out of that you have to make the options again. That's why there is a time consumption. That means the way of understanding you are done means that will be given through the options. Even though you are knowing the right answer, when you read the another option, that will get confuses. Only such questions are out of 90 questions. Such questions are only few, around 5 to 10 questions on your knowledge level, right? Out of that, this year biology paper is completely easy. And then what will be the current year? Next, what we are expecting, what we are preparing for the year? What it seems? ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೋದು ಈಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಾ, ಟಫ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಾ? ನೆವರ್. ಏನನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ? ಮಾಡ್ರೇಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗಿರೋದು ಕೂಡ ಈಸಿ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಾಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಪೇಪರ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಟು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ moderate paper with basic knowledge based questions, because you have all seen all the match of the following is having the basic answer. If you have got one answer, out of that rest of them you need not to match it. Only with the one matching you will get an answer. That's it. All the match the following, and you are in each and every pages, in between 2 pages you are having one match the following, right? So that is what you have consumed less time. That is what actually we need. That is the cancellation methods. The way of approaches are different in the exam, but keeping the mind in a calm level and conscious level is very important. Clear? In a hurry, you will make some mistakes. Even though you have attempted a tough level or a difficult understanding level questions in a right way, you will mistake the simple questions or basic questions in a wrong way. That is what usually the toppers will do. Who are targeted more than 300 will do or commit for the simple mistake. That's it. An average student will do the same questions in a right way, but the topper, or what we will think we will score more than 300, thus such students will do the mistakes like that. That's why you should read the question properly, and wherever you will get if or not or choose the right or wrong, that word you should underline that first. If you underline such words, then immediately while choosing the options, your mind will say you are choosing a right statement or wrong statement. Out of that, you have to choose what you will get to know. That's why while reading the questions, be patient, and then even though you are knowing the answer, be patient till the completion of all the options, because there may be some more appropriate answer will be there, or some option which is included the first option also in the last one. That's why. Clear? So you will see that type of questions in the practicing papers of DPP. We are planning that. Okay, so these are some basic introduction regarding the way we have already approached and what we have did. But from today onwards, we are going to discuss one of the very easiest and your interesting topic. We are in a room, right? It may be nothing but a chamber. That chamber in the biology we refer what? Living world. In the chamber means what is chamber? No. Okay. Yes. Surrounding. We are in a chamber or a yes, Aishwarya? It is cell. Cell, nothing but it is a compartment or a chamber. So now we are going to discuss the topic which is usually having a weightage of how many questions? How many questions you have approached in this year? 3 questions only. The cell, the unit of life ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು? 4 ಇತ್ತಾ? On and average usually 4 to 5 questions will be there in the cell, the unit of life basic chapter 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ as you come across from 2015, 16 phase first, 16 phase second, 17, 18, 19, 20. ಇಷ್ಟು ಇಯರ್ಸಿನ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ you will get only 2 questions in 2020. Right? But in the previous of that year, we have got 5 questions. Okay? So 4 questions in 2015, 3 questions each in phase first and phase second of 2016, and then 1 question in 2017, and 4 questions in 18, and 5 questions in 19 and 2020 we got only 2 questions, but in 2021 we got 4 questions. That means on an average we are having 4 to 5 questions. Okay, right? So that is what the the NEET weightage. Okay, then is there any question that is out of NCERT here? Have you seen any questions in your paper only? Is there any questions or any options which is beyond the NCERT? No. But why we teach beyond NCERT means only to consume less time while understanding the problem. That's why. If you are knowing the detailed concepts, then you will consume less time. Easily you will go with the answer. That's why we will teach somewhat extra. That's it. Not to give extra questions. Even while practicing also we will give more extra concepts that is beyond NCERT to make you thorough about the concepts with the details. That's it. But while in the grand test you will get the same NCERT based what NTA prescribed concepts are there. Clear? ಈಗ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ DPPL ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ವೀಕೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಸಮ್ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ವೈಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಟರೀಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ NTA ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ವೆಲ್, ಸೊ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್? ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. Now my question is that one. Why we call cell is the basic unit of life? ಯಾಕೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಎಸ್, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸೆಲ್? Say no problem. Right or wrong, whatever. You are saying cell is basic unit of life. Okay. Why?
It can perform all the essential functions of
But the chapter name is cell, the unit of life. Yes, as you are saying, it is a basic unit of life. Why? My question is why it is known as basic unit of life?
it can perform all the essential functions for life.
It can perform all the essential functions too? Functions in it?
For survival.
For survival of what?
Living organisms.
Living organism. Which kind of living organism? All. Okay. Cell is also called as structural and right? But this is what you will say from your high school studies. Cell is the basic unit of life, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. That's why ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. Our cell performs all the activities of a organism that may be unicellular or may be multicellular. But you have read the second paragraph of your NCERT, that is anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure what?
Living state.
This seems that you are not read NCERT. What is the statement? Anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure a independent living. What does the statement mean? ಏನಿದೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಹಂಗಾರೆ? ಈ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕನ್ವೇಸ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸೆಲ್. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸೆಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಅ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಸೆಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇನ್ ದ cell wall in the plant cell and cell membrane in the animal cell, we will start up the cell study by a overview, right, till the nuclear material which is contained in the genes. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನಾವು ಓವರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಅ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ in a single celled organism like the unicellular organism, the single cell which is capable of performing all the activities, that is taking of food or removal of excretory material or whatever the locomotion with the pseudopodia or whatever the structures or whether the flagella, whatever, all type of cellular activities, nothing but the metabolic activities which are performed by a single cell which is capable of doing it on, right? So that's why unicellular cells and also in the multicellular cells. How multicellular cells are having the basic unit as cell? Because in the multicellular cell, from cell, then they are giving a group called tissue. From the tissue, that is tissue system, right? That forms organ, that forms organ system, that forms, that is what we are, right? So we are composed of basic unit, that is a cell. Likewise, you have studied the living world, there the species is the basic unit of taxonomic hierarchy or a taxonomy or a classification. The same way here cell is the basic unit, because in unicellular organism a single cell is capable of doing all the activities by having a complete structure. If it is not having a complete structure, then it doesn't ensure a independent living, because you just remember virus. The virus is not having the any organelles in it. While it is outside the host body, then it is nothing but a protein like crystal. It is a crystalline structure what W.M. Stanley made, what we have studied in the biological classification, right? So biological classification ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, that is a Stanley made them as a crystalline particles ಅಂತ. So virus, when it is outside the host body, it is just a protein structure which is appearing like a crystal. But it is not having it is independent metabolism, because it is dependent on what? Host body for absorption of food material or whatever the thing which requires for the place and everything. It is not having individual metabolism, because why it is not having individual metabolism? It is not having a proper organelles in it. Clear? Whether it may be membrane bound or non-membrane bound organelles, right? That's why independent living requires a complete structure. That's why anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. If it is having a complete structure like all these what you have discussed, then it will be having a independent living. So for independent living it requires complete structure. That's why the cell is called as basic unit of life. ನೋಡಿ ಅದರ ಮುಂದಗಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ the third line itself. Anything less than complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. Hence, cell is the unit of life or nothing but basic unit of life, because it performs all the structures and functions of a cell or an organism. So based on this, if you come across a history or a discovery of the cell, who discovered living cell? Okay, some of you said Robert Hooke, some of you saying Leeuwenhoek. Which is right? Just wait. Don't change your answer now. So there are two persons, but usually we have committed mistake from our high school studies. Who discovered cell means we will say either Hooke, whether it is Robert Hooke or Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Hooke, right? But here Robert Hooke, who studied that cell as compartments, that is the Quercus suber, nothing but the name called cork tissue. Here he observed the hives, the honeycomb hives ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ. They are nothing but the compartments. These compartments, nothing but cell he called. So Robert Hooke observed dead cell. Clear? For the first time, Robert Hooke observed the cell in the dead condition, especially in the cork tissue, that is nothing but Quercus suber, that is the scientific name. Then Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who observed the living cell for the first time. The clarification you should know, the dead cell is by Robert Hooke in the cork tissue of Quercus suber. You know cork, that is secondary growth product. Phellum, phellogen, phelloderm, right? That is what I am saying, right? Then Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who observed living cells in first cells, ಕೀವಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೂ, ರೈಟ್? ಓಕೆ. ದೆನ್ Robert Brown, who observed nucleus. It seems very easy, but you should remember, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Then who gave the discovery of the sarcode? ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ದೇ ಲೇಟರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ. ಇದ್ಯಾವುದು ಎನ್ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಟಿಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಡ. ಆದರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಈಗ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ life. Who proposed that protoplasma is physical basis of life? This statement is very important, take down. But who gave that statement? Physical basis of life is protoplasma ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು ಅಂದರೆ, that is Huxley. ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು, ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ನರ್ವ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ಪರ್ಕಿಂಜೆ ಫೈಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪರ್ಕಿಂಜೆ. ಎಸ್ ಏನಮ್ಮ? ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ. ಡಿ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರಿಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಡುಜಿನಾರ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಇದಿಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನೆನ್ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಪರ್ಕಿಂಜೆ ಹೂ ನೇಮ್ಡ್ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ರೀನೇಮ್ಡ್ ದ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದೇರ್, ದಟ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಜೆಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೆದ? ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ. ದಟ್ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಜೆಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೀನೇಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಪರ್ಕಿಂಜೆ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ Huxley. This is the little bit history regarding the cell. Clear?
So, Quercus suber is plant name or?
Plant name. In that plant, during the secondary growth, what he got the tissue, that is cork tissue. In that he observed the chambers, nothing but cells. That is dead cells. Clear? ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಅದು ಇಲ್ವಾ? ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಹೌ ವಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಡಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು?
By electron microscope.
ಬೈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರಾಬರ್ಟ್ ಹುಕ್ಕು ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಥ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಇನ್ನು 1838 ಹುಟ್ಟಿರಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು, 1950 ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 1980s ನಂತರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು? ಹೂ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್? ಐ ನೋ ದಟ್ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಅವರಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ತಿನ್ನೋ ಐಟಮ್ ನೆನ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಯಾರು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ಡು, ರಸ್ಕು ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೆನ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಹೂ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್? ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಅವರಂತೂ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ನವರು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಪೈಪ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ focal length lenses in the empty hollow, nothing but empty or hollow pipes. These are nothing but magnifying lenses. This just for understanding ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಹಂಗಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಲೆನ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ವಿತ್ ದೇರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫೋಕಲ್ ಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಬೈ Zacharias Janssen and his son Janssen. So Janssen and Janssen powder. Okay, so Zacharias Janssen and his son who developed the first microscope in a pipe with a different focal length lenses. Arrangement of that is nothing but microscope. Later it is modified as compound microscope by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. And from that onwards they started to study about cells, and later on due to the development of electron microscope by who? This is very important, Knoll and Rusk. I said there is one food component, Rusk. ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಸಣ್ಣದ ಬಿಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂತಿದ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ರಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ನಾಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಸ್ಕಾ ಆರ್ ದ ಟೂ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಸೀನ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್? ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಸೀನ್? ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಸೀನ್? ಯಾರು ಸೇರಿ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ? 1 2 3 4 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ನಾನಂತೂ ತೋರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸಿನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಫೋಟೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕೈ ಐತೆ. 1 ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ, ಒಬ್ಬರು. ರೈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆ. ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಹಾಂ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ, ನಂಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ರೈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ? ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಿಮಗೆ. Because electron microscope is nothing but scanning electron microscope. Any microscope without cutting a blood or without having a blood stain or without cutting a skin layers, they will give the 3D images of our internal organs. So while birth only, we have already seen in our ಮದರ್ಸ್ ವೂಮ್ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್. ನಾವು ಹುಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದು. ನೋಡಿಬೇಕಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಕೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮದೆಲ್ಲ? ನಮ್ಗಳದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಮನೇಲೇ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲು ನೋಡಿರಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ನಿಮ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ. ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ವೈಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಮದರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಬಂದಿರೋ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮಿಗೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ microscope type where the electrons are allowed to fall on the surface of the object, and that will give the image on the monitor screen, and we can take that in the 3D forms also and also in the print forms also. That is what we will see the scanning reports. That is not micrographs, electron micrographs. You will remember this term in the diplotin and packaging stages of ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್. ಇವೆರಡು ಟರ್ಮನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಫ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ತನಕ ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಯಿತು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಲೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಇಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ರೈಟ್, ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. Then there are some scientists who studied various kinds of plants and also animals, and they gave the doctrine of cell. What is doctrine of cell or cell doctrine? I have given hint. They have studied various kinds of cells of plant and animals ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. Cell doctrine, nothing but cell theory. 2013 ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 15 ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ಸೆಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೂ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆರ್ ಹೂ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆರ್ ಹೂ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು NCERT ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮೇಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಾನೆ? ಸೊ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಅದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಈಸ್ first formulated by who? ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಥಿಸ್ ಸ್ಲೇಡಿನ್ in 1838. Who is ನಾನಲ್ಲ, but he is also botanist like me. From Germany. So botanist from Germany, he studied various kinds of plant cells and he concluded that what?
Presence of cell wall is a unique character.
ಹೌದಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ. He concluded that what? By studying the various kinds of plants. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಥಿಯೋಡರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್. ಇನ್ 1839 ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ zoologist. So he studied various kinds of animal cells, okay, and he concluded that there is a outer layer in animal called cell membrane. Now we are calling it as, it is known as now, ಈಗೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ membrane. Simple ಇದೆ. And he also considered the studies of Slidin and he observed some plant cells also, and he concluded that outer layer which is there in the animal is cell membrane. The same way the cell membrane is also present in the plant, but above the cell membrane there is one more layer called cell wall that is present only in the plant cell, that is absent in animal cell. This is called as the outer layer in plants. Then what he concluded? He concluded that all organisms, nothing but especially the plant is composed of what? Cell and products of cell are its components. Is it clear? So what Slidin done? He observed various kinds of plant cells and he concluded that plants are made up of cells and its products are nothing but its components. And then the Swan, he studied the different kinds of animal cell and he concluded that outer layer is cell membrane. Now we are calling it as plasma membrane. But the same way he also considered some studies of Slidin and referred that, and he also given hypothesis that plant cell also having the cell wall. Then what the hypothesis he did? ದ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್, ಇದನ್ನು ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಇದೇ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಏನದು ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್? ನೋ ನೋ ನೋ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ all plants and animal bodies are composed of cell and its product. Clear? ಇದು ಎನ್ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಟಿಲೇ ಇದೆ, ಇದೆಯಾ? Right? So this is the hypothesis that was given by Squan by considering the study of Slidin also. Slidin ಏನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವನೇನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅವೆರಡನ್ನು ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವನದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಥೀಸಿಸ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್. ಅವನೊಬ್ಬಂದೇ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೈಪೋಥಿಸಿಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಥೀಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಓದ್ತಿರಿ, ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ the hypothesis given by Squan by consideration of these two members' studies. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕೂಡ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮೇ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಆದರೆ ರಿವೀಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು 1 year ಲೇಟರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಆ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಓದಂಥವ್ರು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯಿತು? ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್, ಸೆಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್, ಈಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ಡ್. ವೈ?
They could not explain how new cells.
Yes, they are not explained the answer for how new cells are formed. ನ್ಯೂ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸ್ಲಿಡಿನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ನೋ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರುಡಾಲ್ಫ್. ರುಡಾಲ್ಫ್, ವರ್ಚ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ವಿರ್ಚ್ಯೂ, ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೈಟ್. ಇದಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ reframed it. He framed that cell theory by giving the answer for this failure. How? The modification is only due to the failure of this cell doctrine proposed by Squan and Slidin. What is that means? Squan and Slidin doesn't give how new cells are formed ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. For that the answer is given by, this is asked in 2019 and 2015. Who gave that modification for the cell theory? And who, especially the statements called omnis cellula, e cellula. What it conveys, what it refers to, means the answer for this question is nothing but cell exists from pre-existing cells. Clear? Agar a cell existing from pre-existing cell, the 2015 question is that only. Who gave the statement called omnis cellula e cellula? Iste simple ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ who modified the cell theory and said that cell exists from pre-existing cell ಅಥವಾ new cells are formed by old cells ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರು? ಅಲ್ಲ, ರುಡಾಲ್ಫ್, ವಿರ್ಚ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಚ್ಯೂ. ಓಕೆ, ರಾಬರ್ಟಾ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ರುಡಾಲ್ಫ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದರ್ಶನ್ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಬೇಡ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾ? ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಸೆಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು, ಸೆಲ್ ಹೇಗೆ, ಅದರ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಶಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಆ ಎನ್ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಟಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನದು? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಈ ದಿನ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್? ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಟುಡೇ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕೀಗ. ನೋ, ಆಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇವನು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಈ 2 ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವನು ಆಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೀಗ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ಆಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. This is the first one. This is the first one. The second is new cells are formed from
pre-existing cells.
ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೂ. ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಹೇಗಾದ್ರು ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 2 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರು ಹೊಸ ಫೇಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಹೊಸ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಅದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ? ಇಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಔಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್?
In animal organisms.
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಜನರಲಿ ನೀವು ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಔಟರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್? Cell membrane. But in plants, in animals, in bacteria, it is all different. Alva? Okay. Yake? A cell contains outer layer called cell wall is only present in plants, and it contains the outer layer called cell membrane in animals. But this cell wall is also present in so all 5 kingdoms which are proposed by R.H. Whittaker are having cell membrane but not cell wall, because the cell wall is absent in the animals, hence outer layer is cell membrane. Clear? But in the bacteria we will come across outer layer is glycocalyx, and next to that it is followed by the cell wall and cell membrane. We will deal with respect of prokaryotic cell, because the only kingdom which is proposed as a prokaryote by R.H. Whittaker is kingdom Monera, that contains the sole members called bacteria. That's it. Okay. Hagare cell wall is the outermost layer or outermost component of the cell in plants and some protistas and fungi. Clear? But in bacteria we can also find cell wall, but glycocalyx is the outer layer. But in the animals, cell membrane is the outer layer due to the absence of cell wall. Is it clear? Is it clear? Next to that, there is the fluid matrix, that is called cytoplasma. This is the main arena. What is arena refers to? Center. It is a main center. Okay, it is a main center of cellular activities. All the cells will perform their activities inside the cell wall or whatever the cell membrane, whatever the limiting membrane that constitutes the fluid matrix, that is called cytoplasma. Nothing but protoplasma which is present inside the cell antane artha allige. If it is present inside the nucleus, then it is called nucleoplasma. That's it. That's why. So cytoplasma, which is the fluid matrix which is present inside the cell, which is the main center or arena for a cellular activity, nothing but cell's metabolic activities. Inside the cell, we will see the organelles. What is cell organelles? How we will define cell organelles andre definition keltare hen ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ definitions? Okay, I will ask. I will give options now. Whether it is living or non-living. Cell organelles, not the cell. Living. Some of you are in still dilemma, don't know answer. Over living anthiri in care don't know anta liviri, right? Okay. Whether it is metabolically active or inactive. Active. That's it. The definition is the living metabolically active structures they are called what? Cell organelles. They are located inside the cytoplasma. Clear? Then they are organelles. Some of them contain membranes. That's why they are called membrane bound organelles. So which are the membrane bound cell organelles? Can you name? Okay, mitochondria. Very good. I needed this answer. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ, ದೀಪಿಕಾ, ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್, ಎಂಡೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಕ್ ರೆಟಿಕ್ಯುಲಮ್, ನಾಟ್ ಎಂಡೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಯಮ್. ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರ ಬರ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಗಾಲ್ಜಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast, mitochondria, lysosomes, vesicles, tubules. ಮುಂದೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳು. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನೇಷಿಯಸ್. ಅದು ಮೆಮ್ರೇನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, vesicles, tubules, vacuoles. Then any other organ? Main is nucleus. Based on the nucleus with the membrane, we will define prokaryote and eukaryote. Membrane bound structure are present in eukaryote. That's why. So prokaryotes are non-membrane bound nucleus, and also organelles are not having membrane. Organelles allu membrane iralla. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೆಮ್ಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಪಿಯೆಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ದ ಐಸ್. ಇವನ್ ದೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಐಡೆಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಮ್ಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ organelles to having membrane bound structures, and some are non-membrane bound structure. The both are having the similarity in presence of non-membrane bound organelles, that is only the ribosome. Both are having the similarity, that is the presence of a ribosome. The ribosome is a non-membrane bound structure. That is what we can found in the same, but that is quite different. In prokaryotes it is 70s, in eukaryotes it is 80s. So likewise the membrane bound structures are present, but in non-membrane bound structures are commonly present in both prokaryote and both means prokaryote and eukaryotes. That is the only thing we can find in the similarities of both prokaryote and eukaryote ಅಂದರೆ ಇದೊಂದೇ. Other than that, everything will be different in basis of nuclear membrane and other membrane bound structures. Is it clear? So, inside that, we will see the nuclear material, that is chromatin, that is condensed to form a chromosome, and likewise we will say, but that is not clearly seen in the prokaryotes, but clearly visible in the eukaryotes. So, let us see in detail about prokaryotic cell. ಆನಂತರ ಯುಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಈಗ ಏನೇ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೀಟೇಲಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯುಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಬಟ್ generally if you come across means the cells will vary with the shape, vary with the size, right? Which is the largest isolated cell? Ostrich? You have to complete that one. So which is the smallest cell? Smallest cell. Okay. Whatever, I am just, we are dealing with general characters. Overview ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ the smallest one is mycoplasma, but the option is not there. Mycoplasma ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. Pleuro pneumonia like organisms. Correct? Okay. Pleuropneumonia like organism. Pleuro refers to multiple. Pleiotropism ಅಂತ ಓದಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ genetics ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Pleuro refers to they will exhibit multiple kind of morphological characters. That's why pleuro means it will changes its nature of appearance. That's why it is like pneumonia. It is not exactly the pneumonia. It is like. So that's why pleuropneumonia like organisms. We will not judge exactly its structure, how it is. It will change accordingly with the host body and the mechanisms that is undergoing. Clear? So pleuropneumonia like organisms which are having the 0.3 micrometer of length, but if they give, what is the size of mycoplasma? 0.3 in length you are saying, but in the same NCERT, not in the lines, it is given in the diagram, that is 0.1 micrometer size. ಏನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಈಗ? ಇಟ್ ವೇರೀಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಅಂತ ಈ ಥರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. 3rd ಪೇಜ್ 4th ಪೇಜ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. 3rd ಪೇಜ್ ನೋಡಿರಿ, ಈ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ. ಇನ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಯೂಶ್ವಲಾಗಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡೋಂಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆ ಥರ ಅಂಬಿಗ್ಯೂಟಿಸ್ ಇದಾವ? ನೆವರ್. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್. ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವ? ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಸಿಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಈ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೀಡಿಂದಲ್ಲ, ನೀಟಲ್ಲೇ ಎರಡೆರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿ ಟಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವುದು, ಕೆಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಅವರು ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಥರದ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪಮಿಕ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಕೆಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಮಾನೋಸ್ಪೋರಿಕ್, ಪಾಲಿಗೋನಮ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಆ ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೇರೀಸ್. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿ ಟಿಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಬಂದರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈಕೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಲೂರೋನ್ಯೂಮೋನಿಯಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 0.3 micrometer. It usually has the size of 0.1 micrometer as a cell. Then among the human especially, the longest cell, one of the longest cell, it is not only the longest, it is not only the long cell, it is one among the longest cell. The longest cells is nerve cell, and in human that is RBC, which is having 0.7 micrometer of its diameter, not length. Then ostrich egg is not the largest cell, it is the largest isolated cell. Isolated means it is separated from the body, and it is, you should know, it is a fertilized egg. ಅದು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕೂಡ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಚ್ ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಎಗ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್? ಸರ್ ಎನ್ ಸಿ ಟಿಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್? ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು? ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೆಂತ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. That means around 13 to 15 centimeter. The length is 15 point something. The width is 13 centimeters. And it weighs about 1.5 kg. The ostrich egg, the special points, it is 15 centimeter. That means 150 millimeter anta artha. Yes, egg. That's what I said. That's why I said what? ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅದೇ ರೀಸನ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದು ದ ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೇಯ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ದ ಲೇಯ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ದಟ್ ಲೇಯ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಐ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಡ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಲೇಯ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 15 centimeter in length, nothing but in millimeter 150. That is the length. Okay. And 13 centimeter in the width, and it weighs about 1 point 125 1.5 kg ಹೇಳ್ದ. ನಂಗೆ 125 kg ಹಂಗಾಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ರಾಂಗ್ ಇಯರಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, 1.5 kg ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನೀವು ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಚ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅದ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ? ನಾವಂತೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ. ನೋಡಿಲ್ವಾ? ನಮಗಿನ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲೋ? ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗಿನ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಅದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಪಂಜೈತೆ ಹೊಡಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಮಕ್ಕಂದಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಜೋಕ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಚ್ ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಎಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ವೇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 1.5 kg and which is having the 13 centimeter, nothing but 130 millimeter. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಮೀಟರ್, ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಿಲಿಮೀಟರ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗೋ ಬೇಡ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 130 millimeter ಆಫ್ ವಿಡ್ತ್ and 150 millimeter ಆಫ್ ಲೆಂತ್, and this is the ostrich egg related concepts. The smallest one is mycoplasma, that is pleuropneumonia, that is about 0.3 micrometer in length and 0.1 micrometer in the size, generally ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ 0.1 to 0.3 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 0.3 micrometer to 0.5 micrometer. This is about the general details about the size. If you come across the shape, ಏನು ಬರ್ಬೋದು? ಶೇಪ್ಸ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದರೆ ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಬರೆಯಲ್ವಾ? ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, so that may be polygonal shapes, that may be usually having hexagonals in the plant cell. It may be varies like the RBCs or WBCs. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇರಲ್ವಾ? ಇನ್ ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಮ್ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್? What it is? That means, yes, very good, it is colon ಕೈಮಾ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಾಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಲಾಜಿನ್ನು ಫೈಬರು ಗೀಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಶೇಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜನರಲ್ cells in the eukaryote will vary like this, whereas in the prokaryote They are spirally coiled. They are called spirillum, or that may be like oval, that is cocci, or it is comma shaped, vibrio or mango shaped, whatever. Then the rod shaped bacillus. Likewise, the shapes of the cell will vary from oval, spherical or polygonal, ellipsoidal, rectangular. Polygonal ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, rectangular ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಎಲ್ಲ angle ಬಂತು. Clear? That means how many angles, whatever it may be, it should be polygonal structure. That's it. The same way, it will vary like a spring-like, or maybe the oval-like, or maybe the comma-like, or maybe rod shapes. So like this, the shapes of the cells will vary. Is it clear? ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಸೋಣ. ಇದು ಜನರಲ್ಸ್. So let us start with prokaryotic cell. What is prokaryotic cell? Non-membrane bound cell. Nucleus. So if you see this as a bacterial cell, the outer layer is always ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್. ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಸಾಕು? ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಲಿಪೆಪ್ಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಯಾಕರೈಡ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ polysaccharide. Glyco refers to, that is glycine refers to sugar. Glyc refers to sugar. Calyx refers to the wall, a layer, envelope. So it is a sugar coat. Calyx refers to coat. So sugary coat means it should be a polysaccharide component. That's why glycocalyx is usually made up of polysaccharide component. So this glycocalyx is present in two types in different kinds of bacteria. So because prokaryote refers to only the Monera, so Monera is having the sole members called bacteria. So in the bacteria, glycocalyx is of two types, whether it is tightly bounded thick layer, then it is called capsule. Whether it is loosely bounded thin layer, then it is called slime layer. So capsule is what? It is nothing but the glycocalyx. It is present as tight bounded structure. So that is tightly bounded with the thick nature of that one. So before that, what is glycocalyx then? As we said, glyco refers to what? Sugar. Calyx refers to the coat. So glycocalyx is the sugary coat, nothing but it is made up of
polysaccharides.
It is glycocalyx is nothing but, according to NCERT, that is viscous layer of polysaccharide which is present as the outer layer in prokaryote or a bacterial cell. So what is glycocalyx? It is a viscous layer of polysaccharide. Viscous means which is very thick, which will restrict the entry. That's it. ನೀವು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀರಿ ವಿಸ್ಕಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ glycocalyx will function as restriction to the antibiotics. It plays the against role of, against role means antagonistic. Antagonistic nothing but it is against ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಆಂಟಾಗೋನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಆಂಟಾಗೋನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್? Antibiotics. The antibiotics means what? That may be any proactive molecules which are killing or acting on another organism, right? So antibiotics like penicillin, streptomycin, whatever. So they will break the cell wall easily. The cell wall will be easily denatured. That's why the thick glycocalyx is present, that is called capsule. Or if it is loosely bounded and thin layer, then it is called slime layer. That's why, what is the function of glycocalyx then? ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲದೆ viscous layer. It is preventing or slowing the infections of, means the activity of antibiotic, and along with that it enhances the infecting capacity of bacterial pathogens. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್? Disease causing bacteria. Give the name. Disease causing bacteria. Salmonella typhi is a simple one. Easily ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವ? ಓಕೆ. ಅಥವಾ Xanthomonas citri ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟ್ರಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಕರ್. The same way it will acts against the antibiotic and it enhances pathogenicity of bacteria. ಯಾವುದ್ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜೆನಿಸಿಟಿನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ NCERT, ಬಟ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್, ದ ಲೇಯರ್ ಈಸ್ cell wall. What is cell wall? The cell wall is, yes, very good, it is a non-living rigid structure, but here it is made up of what? Peptidoglycans. That peptidoglycan is either muramic acid or ಮ್ಯೂರಿನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೆಪ್ಟಿಡೋಗ್ಲೈಕನ್. ದ ಪೆಪ್ಟಿಡೋಗ್ಲೈಕನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯೂರಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯೂರಿನ್. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯೂರಿನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಓದ್ಬೋದು ನೀವೀಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯಾರಿಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್. ಮ್ಯೂರಿನ್ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯೂರಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ is the cell wall component of bacteria. Is it clear? Then what is the function of this non-living rigid structure? Particular rigid means it will give a definite shape. This is the function, and here it gives the definite shape. Then ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಎಸ್, ರಿಜಿಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಫ್ನೆಸ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಿಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕು. ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ರಿಜಿಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಶೇಪ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟಿಫ್ನೆಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್. ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕಬಲ್ ಬೈ ಆಂಟಿಬಯೋಟಿಕ್. ಎನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಇರೋದು ದಟ್ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೆದಿರೋ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್. ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ cell membrane. The cell membrane here is usually, as you can see in the higher organisms, it also resembles the same structure, but the cell membrane is the innermost layer. But some membranes are modified into mesosome. Meso means middle, zoma refers to body. So the middle layer, especially at this point, they will made an inward projection, an extension towards the inner side. Inward projection, nothing but inside extensions of membrane. That inward membranes have extensions, that is called mesosome. That is a modified cell membrane or a modified membranous structure. That is modified how? By protruding inside the cell content. Cell content kalane move aagtade. That's what inward projection or inside extension of the membrane, that is mesosome. Generally it is what? Cell membrane. But why it is modified? ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ mesosome. Mesosome basically involves in DNA replication, because the DNA or whatever the genetic material here it is present is not clearly visible. It is just, we call it as nucleoid. I will discuss it later. Nucleoid ge bere names ide, adara functions na maatadtini. But that while during the cell division, as we know, bacteria will divide by the fission. That's why it will form the cell wall. The basic function of mesosome is to form cell wall. First function adane mention madirodu. So while cell wall is forming, it will protrude further. See, look at the board. So it will move towards inside and ultimately it will divide nucleoid into two. That's why cell wall formation, DNA division or a distribution equally to the daughter cells ಅಥವಾ genetic material distribution. Clear? Along with that, it also performs the functions. This is clear? It also performs some functions by the presence of some respiratory enzymes on the mesosome. That's why these are called what? They are respiratory enzymes. You should write the diagram itself. Diagram barkonbitre saku kudanta gotagutte. So respiratory enzymes. So respiratory enzymes means it will involve in the respiration. And it also involves in secretion. That is also additional function of this one. So what is the function of mesosome? First, it involves in the cell wall formation during the cell division. At that time, it also involves in the DNA distributed to the daughter cells during the cell wall formation. And then, by presence of some respiratory enzymes, not all, here and there they will be distributed. The inner membranes are having some respiratory enzymes that will act as the respiratory structure here. Hagagi, that involves in respiration. And they are also having some enzymes that will perform the secretory function, that is involved in secretion. And as you see, the length is around here. For example, around what it is? The length is shorter than this length, right? That means from this to this straightly, if you have seen, means the straight line and this wavy or curved line. Which one is length? Wavy length, right? The wavy line means that was protruded some extinctions. Especially this mesosome is inward protrusion, right? That inward protrusion is increasing the surface area. Easily you can put 10 folded cloths, pair of cloths in a single bag, where usually we have normally putting the cloths. It contains more, right? While we come tightly folded them. The same way, you should remember nucleosome model. Histone proteins which have been tightly bounded the 2 meter of DNA inside the cell. ಇದೆಯಾ 2.2 ಮೀಟರ್ DNA ಅಷ್ಟು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್. ಇಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಅರ್ಥ, ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆನೂ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ. ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ mesosome. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲಿನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. It prevents cell from bursting and collapsing. It prevents cell from bursting and collapsing. That's why it is protecting the cell. ಇಷ್ಟು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಷ್ಟು? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ outer layer called glycocalyx, which is loosely bounded means and thin layer called slime layer. It is one kind of bacteria are having. In some bacteria, it is tightly and thickened, that is called capsule. But these are nothing but the sugar coat having the viscosity. That means they are limiting the entry, or they are prohibiting, or they are slowing the infection. That's why the function is they avoid the infection and increase the pathogenicity of such bacteria which cause the diseases. Along with that, they are showing the agonist activity, or that is the antagonistic property against that one antibiotics. Then cell wall, as we know, that is giving the definite shape and protecting the cell by collapsing and bursting out, because it is a non-living rigid structure made up of muramic acid or murin, nothing but a peptidoglycan. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರೈಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕಲಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಮೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ there is a some amount of protein is also present, but major component is sugar coat, nothing but polysaccharide, carbohydrate. Clear? Then outermost aitu, middle layer aitu, then cell membrane. It is a living structure again, made up of lipid and protein, as we can see in air membrane. Hagagi ili structure ನಾನು detail ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. But this is having the membrane bound extension. That membrane bound extensions are what? Mesosome. That mesosome increases surface area, secretion, respiration. They are additional functions. But the main function is cell wall formation during the cell division and distribution of genetic material, nothing but DNA to the daughter cells. Is it clear idea? Okay. So in the next session we will discuss the further concepts regarding the prokaryote, that is nucleoid, and then vacuoles, vesicles, or inclusion bodies and ribosome, because you should just concentrate on inclusion bodies and villi and fimbriae. Every year one another question in these two topics, ಒಂದು villi ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ fimbriae ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ribosomes, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ inclusion bodies. Every year 2016 ಪೇಪರ್ ತೆಗೆದು ನೋಡಿ 20 ತನಕನೂ ಬನ್ನಿ, inclusion bodiesಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ villi, ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಫಿಮ್ರಿಯಾ, ಈ 5 ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಷ್ಟು? ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಟು ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಟು ದ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ನೌ ಅಪ್ ಟು ದ ಔಟರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಶಲ್ ವಿ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.